Section 11.5, we're going to look at using the distance and midpoint formulas, and that's the goal, is that by the end of the hour, or I should say by the end of this video, you have a general understanding of what the distance and midpoint formulas are and how to use them. So the first formula we're going to look at is the distance formula. Okay, the distance between any 2 points, x1, y1, and x2, y2, is d equals x2 minus x1 quantity squared plus y2 minus y1 quantity squared. Okay, really the way to think about it is it's the square root and then subtract your x values and square them, subtract your y values and square them. So it says find the distance between the 2 points. D equals square root, subtract your x coordinates first, 4 minus negative 7 quantity squared, plus, now subtract your y values, negative 3 minus 2 quantity squared. And now it becomes just simplifying. Okay, the square root of 4 plus 7, that's 11 squared, plus negative 3 minus 2 is negative 5 squared. That's the square root. 11 squared is 121. Negative 5 squared is 25. So that's the square root of 146. And then we should probably check to see if we can break that guy down. Okay, rationalize it, or simplify, I should say. So 2 and 73. Then I look at 73 and I'm thinking that there's nothing else that goes into it, so I'm thinking my final answer should be the square root of 146. Okay. As I look at the second ones, again, same process. I'd pause the video right now and try to do part B on your own. I'm going to go ahead and do it right now so you can check your answer if you've already done it. So I have the square root of subtract your x values and square it, subtract your y values and square it. So that's the square root of 2 minus 5 is negative 3 quantity squared, plus negative 3 minus 1 is negative 4 quantity squared. Negative 3 squared is 9. Negative 4 squared is 16, so that's the square root of 25, which is just 5. Alright, so that's us using the distance formula. Those are as straightforward as we can get involving the distance formula. Okay? It says find the missing coordinate. Okay, the distance between negative 1 comma 2 and 3 comma b is square root 41. Find the value of b. So again, d equals square root, subtract your x values, square them, subtract your y values, and square it. Okay. Now here's the deal. We already know what d is. D is the square root of 41 equals the square root of, now we have negative 3 minus, so that's negative 4. Negative 1 minus 3 is negative 4 squared, plus 2 minus b quantity squared. Okay, now I got to get rid of the square root, so now we're going back a section here where we square both sides to get rid of the square root. So 41 is equal to 16 plus 2 minus b quantity squared. Subtract your 16 from both sides. Alright, and we end up at 25 equals 2 minus b quantity squared. Take the square root of both sides to get rid of the squared, so I end up at plus or minus 5 is equal to 2 minus b, subtract 2, so plus or minus 5 minus 2 equals negative b, multiply both sides by negative 1, and so I end up at plus or minus 5 plus 2 is equal to b. Okay, and so what that says is that b is either 7 or b is negative 3. Okay, 7 or negative 3. Either way, if you look, you're going to end up with 5 underneath the in this section right here, right? Because 2 minus 7 is negative 5. Negative 5 squared is 25, and then 2 minus negative 3 is positive 5, and when you square that, it's still 25. Okay, part B there, go ahead and take a look at that on your own. We'll do that in class tomorrow. Same type of problem, just different numbers. Alright, the midpoint formula. The midpoint of any 2 coordinates is you average your x coordinates and average your y coordinates. So you add your x's together and divide by 2, and you add your y's together and divide by 2. Okay, so it says find the midpoint of the line segment with the given endpoints. So you have to average your x's. So m equals average your x's, negative 3 plus negative 1 divided by 2, and then average your y's, 7 plus 11 divided by 2. And so the point I end up at here is negative 3 minus, that's negative 4 over 2, and then 7 plus 11 is 18 over 2, and I go one last step and simplify this as negative 2 comma 9 is my midpoint. Okay, pretty straightforward. Okay, go ahead and try part B on your own right now. I'd pause the video and then just double check with me here. So M equals average your x's and then average your y's. So that's 6 over 2 comma negative 6 over 2. So that's the point 3 comma negative 3 is my midpoint. Alright, and so looks like that's all we're going to look at here involving the midpoint formula. So again, that's the distance and midpoint formula. Just a quick introduction. Tomorrow in class we will look at some more examples and take any questions you have.